How unexpected and heartbreaking the ending was for everyone watching.
Exchange with him and he'd shoot in. What's happened? Oh my God, McGregor's done already. Well, he's finished. The new boy is in town. The main man's here. Know what I mean? I can become the face of the organisation now. But yeah, great. What a performance from me. Don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but what a performance.
Paddy Pimblett also reacted instantly as he watched Conor McGregor's fight come to a sudden end. Seeing the injury unfold, Paddy realized the opportunity ahead and celebrated his own victory, believing a new star could be rising in the organization.
Snaps his foot and he winces in pain. Fuck! I fucking hate my life! This is the one fucking escape I get, and it's shit! And McGregor's just limping around like my fucking nan! Fuck!
MMA Guru had a strong emotional reaction as he watched Conor McGregor's comeback end in heartbreaking fashion. The injury left him frustrated and shocked, especially after the excitement surrounding Conor's return. For many fans, this was a painful reminder of how quickly everything can change inside the... Joe Rogan analyzed the moment from a technical perspective, questioning whether Conor's aggressive approach was part of the original game plan. He highlighted the risk behind the kick and explained how Conor's previous leg injury could have played a role in the shocking outcome.
Side of the sports world. This was literally the very first thing that McGregor did. He came out, right? The announcers are talking about he's full of energy, right? It's his first fight out, and he goes and throws this crazy, ridiculous kick, and he lands really awkwardly on that right leg. Now, a lot of people are going to see this. The commentators were talking about it looked like he blew out his knee. I will admit, yes, this position looks like the classic position that you will see with an ACL tear in terms of the rotation of how the foot is externally rotated, the idea that we see a little bit of the knee going inward, the trunk is leaning over his injured side. But what you don't see on this injury is the classic pivot shift that you will sometimes see with an ACL tear. Now, that doesn't mean that this is not an ACL tear, but you at least don't see that stereotypical kind of pathognomonic shift forward of the tibia and then pop backwards like we would if you could confirm 100% that this was an ACL. I think looking at it from this view is a little bit better because we can see kind of straight on. So here he goes and jumps off of that right side, twists as he lands down. This is a...
After Conor McGregor's shocking injury at UFC 329, medical expert Dr. Bryan analyzed the moment and explained what may have happened to his knee. He revealed that the way Conor landed created extreme stress and rotation, a position often associated with ACL injuries. However, he also made it clear that the footage alone was not enough to confirm the exact damage. According to him, only proper medical tests could reveal the full extent of the injury. The breakdown showed how one risky movement completely changed the course of Conor's long-awaited comeback. A closer look at the shocking moment that ended Conor McGregor's comeback fight. They explained that the injury appeared to happen because of the dangerous way Conor landed after attempting a jumping roundhouse kick. The explosive movement created massive pressure and twisting force on his knee, leaving his leg in a vulnerable position. At the same time, Conor's landing became even more awkward. In just one movement, a highly anticipated return turned into a devastating setback.
This reminds me of my fight with Aspinall, the first one. I don't brag about that one because it was like this.
Yeah.
Don't get mad! No! No!
Mario, did you watch the main event at all? Did you see kind of the unfortunate way that ended?
I seen a little bit. I heard he kind of did like a flying skip knee kind of thing and landed and buckled his knee. It's unfortunate, you know. It's unfortunate.
The shocking injury left several UFC fighters stunned as they watched Conor McGregor's comeback end in seconds. Sean O'Malley and Mario Bautista shared their immediate reactions, showing disbelief at how quickly the fight changed. For the MMA world, it was a painful and unexpected moment, but Dr. Brian revealed why Conor's leg collapse may not have been a typical ACL injury.
On the list, just pointing out you don't see that classic pivot shift like we have seen in other cases. Subsequent sequences, right, they kept saying he was slipping. He's not slipping. Every time he tried to put any semblance of weight on that right leg, we could see him go down. Again, we really didn't see any continued pivot shift. We didn't see any forward tibia translation on this one here either. This was towards the very end. He steps again to put a little bit of weight on that leg. We can see it's very unsteady, and then just all of his weight kind of collapses as he completely comes up off of that foot. Now what's interesting is when you look at the very last sort of sequence of the fight before it was finally called off, again, we're looking at McGregor's right leg here, and if anything, you almost see like a forward translation of his femur. So, right, whenever the ACL tears, you're gonna see a forward translation of the tibia going forward. Here, as we kind of go frame to frame, you almost see like his femur looks like it shifts forward. You kind of see that? Now that could just be his weight shift. Maybe he's trying to activate the quad a little bit more and then has pain and it gives out. But it's almost like you see the femur shift forward relative to the tibia, which would not be suggestive or consistent of an ACL. Even on this next step right here, again, we don't really see that classic like tibia shifting forward sort of position. So actually seeing all this, my first thought would be
Dr. Brian took a closer look at Conor McGregor's injury and explained that he was not simply slipping inside the octagon. According to his analysis, Conor's leg was failing every time he tried to put weight on it. He pointed out that the footage did not show the classic signs usually connected with an ACL tear. Instead, the movement suggested another possible issue, such as a meniscus injury. While the exact damage required medical tests, the breakdown showed why Conor was unable to continue after that painful moment.
Yeah, I mean, I had the man weak in the knees, I guess, so. All jokes aside, I just hope he's good, I know Conor been battling some stuff. It looked like he really been changing. He found God. He had his kids in there, so, during the fight, you could obviously tell his demeanor changed, And I was, shout out to the ref. I was trying to tell the ref sooner, like this guy's kids is front row, I don't want to see him take unnecessary damage. Trying to stop the fight, but this is how crazy Conor is. The first time he's on the ground, I was punching him. He's like, fight. I was like, okay. That's why I backed up. I said, stand up then. Let's fight. And then he fell back down, and then the fight was called.
I mean, you've been in the UFC octagon more than anybody, right? But I just wonder, you knew you had a wounded guy, but it's almost hard for you to stay mentally focused. Like, hold on, remember what we're here to do. I got to go hurt this guy.
Not at all, we killers. But at the end of the day, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? I think so. That's why.
Max Holloway shared what was going through his mind during the final moments of the fight after noticing Conor McGregor was badly hurt. Although he joked about the situation at first, Max made it clear that his biggest concern was Conor's safety. He revealed that he even tried to get the referee to stop the fight earlier because Conor's children were sitting cage-aside. However, McGregor kept telling everyone to continue. Max explained that while fighters are trained to finish the job, they are still human beings who never want to see an injured opponent suffer unnecessary damage.
We don't see that shift. It doesn't mean that an ACL hasn't occurred. Just pointing out that we don't classically see it here to where I can say 100% that's exactly what happened. So going back through this whole sequence again, this was the very start of the fight. McGregor comes down. As he goes and lands, that knee is going to twist and rotate. This is, yes, a compromising position that's challenging on the knee, but we don't see that classic tibia shift forward, pop backwards like you would to confirm like 100% that this is an ACL. The injury at the top of my differential is actually the lateral or the outer meniscus. Whenever he lands here, that is going to put a lot of load and twist on the knee, which can irritate an already injured meniscus or lead to a new injury of the meniscus. Again, though, this position, absolutely, we have to keep an ACL on the differential. I think, though, if we were going to see the ACL, it would have been in this position. We would have seen that knee rotate a little bit more. We would have seen the tibia shift. So I'm going to put ACL number 2 behind the meniscus number 1. Either way, just absolutely really devastating. I mean, I remember the last McGregor fight, he broke his leg. So to see him come back here, whether he was injured coming into the fight or this was a new injury, you got to wonder if this is going to be the end for him, if he can come back from another injury. If this is just a meniscus tear, that may still be surgical, but that is often a 3 to 6 month worst case scenario. Sometimes it's even just a month or two. Obviously, if this is more serious like the ACL, then we're going to be looking at a much longer absence. That's it for the video.
Dr. Bryan also addressed the biggest question surrounding Conor McGregor's future. Could this injury be career-ending? After reviewing the footage, he explained that while an ACL tear was still possible, the signs pointed more toward a meniscus injury. He noted that a meniscus tear could require surgery, but often comes with a much shorter recovery time than an ACL injury. However, if further medical tests confirm a torn ACL, Conor could face another lengthy rehabilitation. After already returned from a devastating leg break, another serious setback could have a major impact on his fighting future.
What do you make of this one at the weekend against Max? You've obviously competed against him before.
I loved the bout. A cracking contest, an iconic mixed martial arts contest with yours truly at the helm once again. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited for it.
And just to finish off the back of this, what happens afterwards? You've talked about a second date next year. Do you want it this year?
Yes. Yes, I do. I wish for it this year. Now I've said my piece, and they've said their piece, and let's just get through this one, and I'm fine with that. So I'll go and improve what's what, and then we'll go back and see what's what.
Have you got your eye on anybody that you want to fight?
Anyone, to be honest. Not particularly, no. Not particularly.
Would you class this at the weekend, if you're victorious, as the greatest comeback in UFC history?
Yes, by far. Holloway's body of work inside the octagon is highly impressive, and he's fought so many men, and to come back and do what I'm gonna do is going to be glorious. It's going to be absolutely sensational. I'm excited for it.
For people tuning in.
Before stepping into the octagon, Conor McGregor made bold promises, predicting a historic comeback and even claiming he could knock out Max Holloway in just 10 seconds. He believed a victory would become the greatest comeback in UFC history and prove that he was still one of the sport's most dangerous fighters.
Everything to come back and say no, I want to test myself. I want to even fight again, but I want to fight someone like Max. What do you think it says about him and his hunger still?
It says everything about him. I mean, when you think about it, throughout the history of fighting, tell me somebody who came back after this big of a layoff. I mean, Ali took 3 years and he wasn't the same when he came back. And I think that these are the kind of challenges that a guy like McGregor likes. If he wins on Saturday night, he will do something that nobody has ever done in any combat sport after such a layoff.
Dana White also backed the magnitude of Conor McGregor's comeback. He explained that defeating a fighter like Max Holloway after such a long layoff would be something never before achieved in combat sports. According to Dana, accepting such a dangerous challenge alone showed McGregor's confidence, hunger, despite years away from competition.
Excuse me?
Tell me I've got the wrong assumption. I feel your way to win is within 5 to 7 minutes.
I can destroy Max inside 10 seconds. I have knockouts inside 3 seconds on my fighting record. I have Hall of Fame fighters, multiples, Hall of Fame UFC fighters, defeated and destroyed, both together in under a minute. And I can add Max to that. However, don't get it twisted. If we go into these deep waters, Max is going to be in a lot of trouble, badly concussed.
What happened the first time? What happened the first time?
What happened the first time?
Yeah.
You were left in a wheelchair. That's what happened the first time.
You shot.
Once you go back, you don't go back.
You said fights don't even count if you don't knock people out.
You left the arena in Boston. Wheelchair bound.
We are 0-0.
I wheelchair and pull my ass out of that octagon.
We are 0-0 to your line, brother.
Before the fight, Conor McGregor confidently declared that he could finish Max Holloway in just 10 seconds. He reminded everyone of his fastest knockouts and insisted that even if the fight went into the later rounds, Max would still be in serious trouble. Those bold predictions made the shocking ending even more unexpected. What began as one of the most anticipated comebacks in UFC history ended in a way that nobody expected. Instead of celebrating a legendary return or witnessing a 5-round war, fans were left with more questions than answers. Can Conor McGregor recover from another devastating injury? Will Max Holloway finally get the full fight he wanted? And will the UFC book the trilogy if Conor returns? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. The reactions from fighters, coaches, and experts prove just how much this moment has shaken the MMA world. Now it's your turn. Do you believe Conor can come back one more time? Or was this the final chapter of his incredible career? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more UFC updates.